Hey, Freedom Rose, back in the theater room. I liked the color and the setting so much the other day. I thought, I'm going to do this again because this is a great story today. So I am going to tell a story just home from date day with Isaiah. He called me up and had an opening to where I could ride with him and go back and forth out to the country. Yeah, we're in the country already, I know, but another part of the country I don't get to see very often. And so I just got home in time to get this done before I had to cook dinner. So we're going to talk about tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here and visiting my channel if it's your first time. I'm an intuitive sharer of the angel language, and I'm going to share a very private story today that helped me. It's how I know our angels can hear our thoughts. Now that makes some people go, ooh, I don't want anybody knowing my thoughts. Well, guess what? I have proof through this story that they can. So my very first angel back in 2000, this angel became an angel. His name is David Allen. Back in 1998. And so this is fast forward to 2009, 2010. And by now I know that and I always kind of have known that I had a gift to hear the spirits from the other side, but it's just developing, and now I have a need, right? I have an angel. And so over the years, what was that, 11 years, I knew that he was there, but it wasn't until 2009 when this gift started becoming more and more awakened, that I started seeing other things, and it was developing to the point where I thought I was going nuts, and some people probably still think I am. And you know what? That's okay. I know I'm not. Or, well, maybe a little bit. So I'm out on a walk, and now we've interacted. He's been interacting, in all different ways that we go over, right? The feathers, the pennies, the rocks, the leaves in the right place, and, all of those things. Birds showing up, lizards showing up, all these interactions, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I want to go a little bit deeper into this. And I had a thought, well, I was out on a walk. I used to walk 3 miles a day on our property. And I said, David, can you hear my thoughts, or do I need to talk out loud like I was doing then on my walk? And I said, just give me a sign that you can hear my thoughts. I was very specific between the two. So I went home, got ready for work, and at the time I was working at the local hospital in Clerical as the birth recorder. And it was when the hospital, before that, we built what's called the tower. So this was a long time ago because the tower's been there 10, 11, 12 years now. And I had my desk in a hallway because we needed to expand. And they needed offices for nursing and stuff like that. So they didn't have room for the birth recorder. And so I was literally at a table in the hallway and doing my paperwork and birth recording stuff. And we had labor rooms right next to me, literally right there and right there, 7 feet away. And so I would try to remain very professional and in my own business and watch my paperwork and not do anything. But this day was a little bit different. We happened to be full. All our beds were full. And remember, we're a local hospital. We're not very big. And these women were the 2 women in the 2 different rooms had just come in together, and they were from another area, and that we shipped in because it's a small community. I mean, it's a large mountaintop, but we're the only ones that have a maternity ward with anesthesia, epidurals, and so they would come for other towns to come to us if they wanted pain management, and so they both come in at the same time, and the nurses check them. And we had to put one in a room that was literally big enough for just a bed, a doctor, and a nurse. It was not a delivery room, but we had no choice at the time, and they put her in there. And so it wasn't long before it looked like a Lucille Ball show. And that was, they switched them because the one looked like she was going to deliver first. She dilated very quickly. And so they put the one in the little room that wasn't progressing very fast. Well, as things would have it, now watch this, because this is how involved that the angels can get when they want to give a message to you. And this particular angel had quite the sense of humor. So the nurses are running back and forth talking to each other, because the one nurse they had to pull in wasn't used to delivering. She was used to taking care of the patients after the delivery, which is called postpartum. And so they're asking, what do I do here? What do I do here? And what's your opinion? Because the other nurse was extremely seasoned. In fact, she was getting ready to retire. She'd been doing it for 50 some years. And so I'm trying to remain professional, and I'm, paying attention, trying to work, but I'm watching. And so all of a sudden, the one that's not supposed to deliver, all the family is standing outside the door, and they just start screaming and hollering, "Oh my God!" And I'm rubbernecking it, trying to figure out what's going on. And they're still just carrying on. So back in the day when cell phones were just getting going, so the grandfather of the baby comes right, he's doing the, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And there was a doorwell right beside me. And so he stood in that, and it brought him better reception. So he's literally 2 feet away from me as he's talking. And he says, "You'll never guess what just happened. We were supposed to have a granddaughter, and we had a grandson." So there was a little pause, right? And he's all excited to let the other person on the phone answer. And then he goes, "And we named him David Allen." Well, that was and I'm not going to tell you the last name for confidentiality from my angel and confidentiality for the patient. How did my angel do that? Right? That is how intricate the angels can get involved when they want to get a message across. I know it seems impossible, but that's only just the tip of the iceberg of the stories that I can share you that I've interacted with the angels, guides, universe, however you want to put it. I was just like, "Oh my God, he can hear my thoughts." Okay. And like some people out there, I thought, "Ooh, he can hear everything." But the good news is, once they're on the other side, it's a whole different perspective. They're not held to the thoughts that we do here of jealousy and judgment, and they're at a much higher level. They're back in spirit. They're no longer in human form with all those restrictions of the body and mind. Aho, amen, so it is. So what happens from this, right? That means that you can talk to them all the time. You don't have to talk out loud. You don't have to wait till you're alone. You can just communicate, and you can listen and trust that they are communicating back, right? A lot of times I hear the actual voice, right? Or it's just my thoughts. It's just my own mind, right? But they can use phrases and stuff that you'll recognize. Oh, that's something my grandma would say, or that's something my husband would say. And they will identify themselves that way as well. Or you can just say, "Who is this?" Who is this? Listening in on my thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful day. I had a wonderful end to my day. We went to drop off Isaiah's paperwork at the company, and there was a brand new block of cement out and he went over and drew our initials and put a big heart that will be there forever. And said, well, as long as that cement lasts. Yes, I'm a lucky lady, a very lucky lady. Have a wonderful night, morning, day, whenever you see this. Aho, amen, so it is. Trust your thoughts and talk to your angels.